Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star 2, Land of Origin based on novel. So let's start. Flying Boats Front Hall. The space in the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm is incredibly stable. With my mastery of the space Great Tao, I feel unable to fly. Di Fu managed to stabilize his physical body and already began to sense the peculiarities of the Nine Rivers Sacred Realm. Emperor Qing smiled and said, "The Nine Rivers Sacred Realm has housed countless low-level primordial life forms, as well as powerhouses from countless worlds. You can imagine the might when battles erupt. The realm must be extremely stable to support such conflicts." Luo Feng nodded. The source world itself has power limitations to ensure the stability of the world. The Nine Rivers, like chains, lock down the entire world, likely also to stabilize it. Luo Feng somewhat understood the deeper significance of the Nine Rivers. Indeed, because the world is so stable, even reaching the half-primordial level in the space Great Tao only permits extreme distance spatial travels. Emperor Qing laughed. This flying boat can only travel slowly. It's already quite fast, Luo Feng praised. His own 5 avatars each had unique talents, including those adept at fast travel, yet their fastest speed was only 30 to 40% of Emperor Qing's flying boat at this moment. An eye opened on Luo Feng's forehead. Exactly the secret technique, biomimetic eye of life and death. On the Land of Origin, he long studied the Star Tower and frequently used the eye of life and death, deeply researching both. Most of Luo Feng's secret techniques were based on the deep secret patterns of the Star Tower. As for studying the eye of life and death deep secret patterns to create secret techniques, there was only one named biomimetic eye of life and death. Moreover, with time, this technique continued to undergo refinements. Thus, leveraging the biomimetic eye of life and death on his forehead, Luo Feng's observational ability might not be able to escape the braided cage, but it was considered top-notch among divine emperors. Luo Feng noticed far in the distance, an ethereal light blue creature melding into the void, lurking afar. That ethereal creature was eyeing the incoming flying boat with hostility. "Brother Emperor Qing, be careful, there's a low-level primordial life form ambushing ahead," Luo Feng spoke up. Surprised, Emperor Qing glanced at Luo Feng and laughed. "Brother Luo He, your scouting ability is impressive. I walk the space Great Tao, and with the assistance of a secret treasure, I could barely detect that low-level primordial life form, the green smoke beast." The flying boat seemed to travel at normal speed, but when it got closer to the green smoke beast, it suddenly increased speed by 50 to 60%, quickly leaving the beast behind. The green smoke beast couldn't even keep up. "There aren't many low-level primordial lives that can surpass the speed of my flying boat," Emperor Qing stated. "However, our early travel is still relatively simple. It will be somewhat dangerous once we start crossing over the rivers." 2 days later, the flying boat fully merged with the void, as if it were part of the void itself, traveling over an immensely wide river, not knowing how many billions of kilometers wide. The Nine Rivers, observed within the infinite primordial space, were massive, sealing off the entire world. The true width of this river was terrifying. Even at the speed of the flying boat, it would take half a day. Luo Feng observed with his biomimetic eye of life and death. "Brother Luo He, can you detect a few low-level primordial life forms?" Emperor Qing asked nearby. "I've detected 3, Luo Feng said, displaying a simple regional map in front of him. "There's a bird blending into the wind in the distant sky, and another cloud formation is also a low-level primordial life form. And here, on the water's surface, there's a creature lurking." "Impressive," Emperor Qing exclaimed. "I only discovered 2. Brother Luo He, your scouting method is somewhat more sophisticated than mine." Luo Feng sighed inwardly. If he brought the eye of life and death, perhaps his scouting ability would have skyrocketed thousands of times. But such a secret treasure, even the infinite space treasure vault prohibits taking it outside the source world, as revealing it might attract some great horrors. Sigh. The flying boat cautiously traveled, fully integrated into the void, maintaining a sufficient distance from those low-level primordial life forms. Low-level primordial life forms mainly live within the 9 rivers, as only within the rivers is there enough energy to sustain life. Even if they leave the 9 rivers, they generally don't go too far, so they can quickly return to the rivers. Emperor Qing calmly watched the outside. These low-level primordial life forms merely lurking in the sky above the river are just trying their luck to see if they encounter any cultivators. Besides ones like us, who are merely traveling, hardly anyone crosses above the rivers, Emperor Qing laughed, and you can rest assured that these low-level primordial life forms trying their luck in the high spaces are generally weaker. The truly powerful low-level primordial life forms do not act unless necessary, and once they do, they generally venture deep into the areas where cultivators live, as this is how they hunt more effectively, Emperor Qing explained. How strong are the low-level primordial life forms? Emperor Ming asked from the side. Although we refer to them as low-level primordial life forms, they are still primordial life forms, Emperor Qing stated. They are naturally born beyond the confines, but due to their inability to fully tap into their potential, their strength is relatively weak. Low-level primordial life forms generally have the strength of the Divine Emperor stage. Emperor Qing looked at Emperor Ming. Even the weakest low-level primordial life forms are slightly stronger than you, Emperor Ming. Although they are less intelligent, their life force is extremely formidable, and their physical bodies are very strong. To kill the weakest low-level primordial life form, generally only an early stage of Divine Emperor the Enlightened stands a chance. An early stage of Divine Emperor the Enlightened, in terms of overall strength, matches the bloodline cultivators, who have reached the middle stage of Divine Emperor. In the 9 Rivers Sacred Realm, the fighting power of an early stage of Divine Emperor the Enlightened is considered a threshold. Reaching this threshold enables participation in some hunting battles, Emperor Qing said. Otherwise, no team would want to include you. Emperor Ming and Emperor Qing looked at each other. Luo Feng felt the pressure upon hearing this. The 8 branches fusion technique of the Tao of Life and Death could only be considered as reaching the threshold of the early stage of Divine Emperor. The ultimate technique of the Tao of Life and Death is the standard move for the early stage of Divine Emperor. Moreover, any technique wielded casually by an early stage Divine Emperor, who has comprehended the Tao, is of the early stage Divine Emperor level. Their techniques are exquisite, and even some forbidden moves and ultimate moves can reach the power of the middle stage of Divine Emperor. Fortunately, I still have 5 avatars, each of which is an early stage Divine Emperor life form, and each with its unique talent. The 5 combined should be able to compare with an early stage Divine Emperor, who has comprehended the Tao. I am still too weak, in case I don't even qualify to join the hunting team, Luo Feng felt somewhat uneasy. Without the Eye of Life and Death and the Star Tower, my strength has indeed diminished a lot. Whoosh! In the vast area above the river, the flying boat merged into the void and flew cautiously, maintaining a safe distance from the low-level primordial life forms. On the way, only one low-level primordial life managed to probe the reality of the flying boat, which quickly shook it off with its speed. The Holy Mountain is at the center of the entire 9 Rivers Sacred Realm, so traveling from the center to Yulon City requires crossing 2 rivers. During this process, Luo Feng also witnessed the strength of Emperor Qing. Emperor Qing maneuvered the flying boat, displaying his mastery of spatial pathways, far surpassing Luo Feng's ultimate realm secret technique of the Tao of Life and Death. Brother Emperor Qing, have you reached the middle stage of Divine Emperor? Luo Feng inquired through telepathy, intending to become partners. He naturally wanted to know the strength of the other party. If the gap is too significant, there is no need to form an alliance. Middle stage Divine Emperor who has comprehended the Tao. There is no such thing as easy, Emperor Qing replied telepathically. I became an early-stage divine emperor in the land of origin, and when I came to the Nine Rivers sacred realm, although there were more opportunities that helped me progress further, I only managed to step 1 foot into the middle stage of divine emperor. I've comprehended some middle stage divine emperor secret techniques. To fully become a middle stage divine emperor, who has comprehended the Tao, I'm afraid it will take a long time. Luo Feng understood. Emperor Qing has comprehended some middle stage divine emperor level secret techniques. With the help of secret treasures, he can exert even greater strength. My current strength has quite a gap compared to that of Emperor Qing. When we get to Yulon City, we won't rush to hunt. Emperor Qing smiled at Luo Feng. First, we'll strengthen ourselves using the resources of Yulon City, buying suitable resources, selecting the right secret treasures, and only after everything is fully prepared will we set out to hunt. The two of them conversed telepathically, deliberately avoiding Emperor Ming and Emperor Fu. We're almost there. Emperor Qing looked ahead, Yulon City. As soon as he spoke, the flying boat cut through the air, and a vast city emerged in the distance. Luo Feng, Emperor Ming, and Emperor Fu all looked on carefully. It was a massive city resembling a fortress, and above the city were numerous colorful formations operating, layer upon layer of protection, securing Yulon City tightly. What a terrifying formation! Luo Feng sensed from afar, feeling its immense and unshakable depth. There are 35 cities in Nine Rivers sacred realm, all of which were built at a great cost. These protective measures also represent different cultivation systems. Various systems are protecting this city. Emperor Qing shook his head slightly, but low-level primordial life forms are like creatures that escape the braided cage. Some of them have 2 special talents. Even if we protect with a multitude of different system measures, we still cannot defend against all low-level primordial life forms. Occasionally, some low-level primordial life will infiltrate Yulon City and attack cultivators inside, Emperor Qing said. Emperor Fu and Emperor Ming listened with solemn expressions. Low-level primordial life capable of infiltrating Yulon City are 1 in 10,000, all of which are extremely rare, said Emperor Qing, and the flying boat already headed straight toward a towering gate of Yulon City. Buzz. As the flying boat approached the gate, a wave descended upon it. A vague silhouette of a man in a blue robe with a large beard materialized inside the flying boat. He looked at Luo Feng and his 2 companions, then smiled at Emperor Qing. Emperor Qing, you've brought 3 companions. And also several dozen new cultivators. Emperor Qing smiled and nodded. The rules are the same in all 35 cities of the Nine Rivers sacred realm, the man in the blue robe with the large beard said with a smile. 1. After entering the city, you must lease a cave mansion within 3 days, otherwise, you will be expelled from the city. 2. The city protects all cultivators, and each cultivator must pay a residence fee of 1 primordial crystal every epoch. If one falls behind by 1 epoch, they will likewise be expelled from the city. 3. It is forbidden for cultivators to kill each other within the city, and violators will be executed. As this is your first time entering the city, we need to record the identities of the 3 of you. The man in the blue robe with a large beard looked at Luo Feng and his 2 companions. My name is Luo Feng said with a smile. Emperor Qing and the others also knew that Luo Feng had multiple names, like Galaxy, Luo He, Luo Feng. My name is Emperor Ming. My name is Di Fu. The man in the blue robe with the large beard simultaneously divided his thoughts, also recording the information of the other cultivators in the rear cabin of the flying boat. These 3 will stay in my cave mansion, Emperor Qing said with a smile. As for the residence fees, I will prepay for 100 epochs on their behalf. Saying this, Emperor Qing handed over 300 primordial crystals. The man in the blue robe with the large beard nodded with a smile, Good, Luo Feng, Emperor Ming, Di Fu, the address for you will be the cave mansion where you reside. Soon, all the cultivators completed the procedures for entering the city, and Emperor Qing temporarily withdrew the flying boat. Whoosh! Emperor Qing led Luo Feng and his two companions flying through the city. So many cultivators. Luo Feng was quite shocked, seeing countless cave mansions at a glance, with cultivators frequently taking flight, and spotting millions of cultivators with differing attires and auras, obviously from many cultivation sects. I'm already the weakest, Di Fu looked around with mixed feelings. Why don't some emperors, monarchs want to venture outside? Why do they want to delay until their homeland is about to perish? Because they know that outside, they belong to the very bottom tier. In the dark sacred realm, even the ancestors of two nations are inconspicuous and ordinary. Regarding those so-called 3 rules, the last one, which prohibits killing each other, violators will be put to death. Emperor Qing looked down at the vast city below, and said indifferently, "Don't trust this rule too much. Yulon City is autonomous among cultivators. To punish someone, you first need sufficient evidence. And with various cultivation systems and some killing methods being mysterious and unpredictable, it's impossible to find out who the true perpetrator is," Emperor Qing said. Luo Feng nodded. For example, he could send an avatar to attack and kill enemies while being formless and intangible. If the true perpetrator cannot be found, the matter will naturally be forgotten. Emperor Qing looked at Di Fu and Emperor Ming. The safest method for you two with weaker strength in Yulon City is to make yourselves look sufficiently poor. Poor? Di Fu and Emperor Ming pondered thoughtfully. Rules are there. Without enough temptation, no one will risk making a move, Emperor Qing said. You who are weaker, once you show off treasures, death won't be far away. On the contrary, if you are poor enough, you will be safe enough. You need to get used to this as quickly as possible. Di Fu and Emperor Ming nodded slightly. During the conversation, Emperor Qing, Luo Feng, Di Fu, and Emperor Ming had already flown to the inner city area of Yulon City. My cave mansion is just ahead, Emperor Qing said indifferently. I will grant you two a little energy authority in the cave mansion, enough to sustain slower cultivation. The rest of the energy authority, Luo He and I each have half. Di Fu and Emperor Ming obediently listened. It was already very good that they could stay and receive a little energy authority. Brother Luo He, Emperor Qing looked at Luo Feng. The residence fee for each epoch to stay in this cave mansion is 100 primordial crystals. I will bear the cost for the previous 1,000 epochs. After that, we two will need to split it. Of course, you can also choose to rent another cave mansion. This video will end here.